Hey cooks, welcome back to the Recipe Vault. Today I pulled a recipe out of my handwritten recipe collection for chocolate chip cake. This is from a recipe from Paula Morrow. This came from Louisiana. So we're going to see about their chocolate chip cake. We're going to be making it in a Bundt pan, so I have a few options out here. And I got the OG stand mixer. This is the KitchenAid stand mixer. This is my very first KitchenAid. Welcome to the Amy Learns to Cook kitchen. So one challenge when you see these older recipes that just say bake at 350 until done in a Bundt pan, right? Nowadays, we have so many different kind of Bundt pans, so many manufacturers, and even within Nordic ware, they have a million different sizes, unlike what they may have had back then, right? So I don't know how much batter this is going to make, depending on, and that will dictate what pan we use.
Just fill it up.
Just fill it up, and what if you don't have enough?
Buy more.
Buy more Bundt pans?
No. Buy more ingredients.
Okay. So this is our original, this is the anniversary. This is one of the bigger ones. It can take up to 15 cups of batter. So this recipe, the foundation of this recipe is a cake mix. And I don't think it's going to be enough for this big old pan. I have a ton of Bundt pans, but these were the ones that were in my immediate grasp, right? We have this one. That's sort of square. This is a 10-cup Bundt pan. And this one here is kind of cool, right? This is also a 10-quart. This is 10-cup. This is a lot smaller than this one. So what we're going to do is we're going to make up the batter, and then we're going to put it into a batter bowl and measure how much is in there. Because we want this thing to be about 2/3 full. So depending on how much batter we have will depend on which pan we use. So OG KitchenAid mixer, let's make this cake. Okay, I got my favorite stand mixer here. It's my favorite because, number one, my boo bought it for me. Number two.
It was a long time ago. I don't remember anything.
It was a long time ago. I bought this at the Vacaville outlets in California years and years ago. Okay, so the base of this is a cake mix. And you're going to be like, a cake mix? Why are you showing us how to make a cake out of a cake mix? This has a lot of things added. Okay, so the cake mix is in the mixer. One of the reasons it's interesting about cake mixes is they put a lot of emulsifiers, stabilizers, and gums in there. So it's hard to replicate the moistness and mouthfeel that you get from a cake mix. So it calls for pudding. Here is some vanilla pudding. They always brag about pudding in the mix, right? That's vanilla, and one of chocolate. Now, this is going to be a chocolate cake with this in it. I always thought of a chocolate chip cake being yellow with the chocolate chips in there, but this has got chocolate pudding in there.
Be interesting to see how it turns out.
Yeah.
I might have to sample.
I figured you would. Okay, we're just going to mix it in here. We're going to put in some eggs. This recipe will be up on my website. Eggs. We have some oil. We have some water. That's what it calls for. Mm-hmm. Looks pretty liquidy. That scares me a little bit. This little mixer purrs like a kitten all these years. Yep, that's what it says. So we're going to put in some chocolate chips. I have some mini chips here. mini chips, and we have some chopped walnuts. Looking good. So let's put this in a batter bowl and see how many cups of batter we have. Okay, let's see how much batter we have. What do you guess, Boo?
Oh, I don't know.
You think I'm gonna have 6?
I don't even know how big that batter bowl is.
It's 8 cups, and it's almost up to 6 line. This is the 6th line. So I think I'm gonna have to use a 10-cup bundt. So we're gonna be using the smaller one. So let me get it greased up, and then we will be able to bake this. Okay, we're gonna use the fleur de lis pan, or fleur de lis, depending on where you're from. We gotta grease the heck out of this baby. We gotta grease him like no other. Like no other. Okay, so this looks quite a bit of batter for this pan.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Nordic Ware's website says this pan is 10 cups. And if we have 6, that should be good, right? It's pretty far up there. So we might have to cut off the butt end. The butt end. A little bit of... Let me spread this out a little bit. Right in here. In the oven it goes. It says 50 minutes. We'll see. Okay, cooks, the cake is out of the oven. What do you think's going to happen now? Do you think it's going to come out? I'm going to put this on here, and then we're going to flip it. So the question is, did Amy grease it enough?
Or should we have floured it too? Oh!
I did lose this little piece here.
This is the
No, because I want it to look good when I frost it. So you ain't getting it. So we're going to let this completely cool. It has to totally cool, and then we're going to make a ganache, which is basically a frosted chocolate frosting. Then we're going to... There we are, cooks.
Yeah.
It came out!
Yeah.
We'll be back. Okay, the cake has fully cooled, and I put it in there. We're going to make a quick ganache. So I have a saucier over here. And a ganache for this thing, a ganache can be 2 to 1, 2 chocolate to 1 amount of heavy cream, or you can do 1 to 1. I think I'm doing this 1 to 1 because I think 2 to 1 might be too thick, but I also don't want it to be too thin. So there we go. It's a balancing act. Yeah, we're going to put our chocolate. So I'm doing 300 grams. I weighed both. Okay, so we're just going to let this slowly melt. Okay, I'm going to switch the heat off and let it thicken as it cools. So we'll be back to drizzle our cake. Okay, so I let the ganache cool down to about 80 degrees. You don't want it to be super hot because it'll just be thin. It'll start thickening up. You want it between 80 and 85 and 95. And that's where we are. So let's ganache away with the other hand. Whoa. Oh, I put it over this rack so that the excess will drip down.
Gives me a better surface to lick it.
Whoa.
You know, you could have done fondue, boo-boo. Just dip it.
Nice. Put a little bit more over here.
Looks pretty.
Whoa. Well, that looks pretty nice. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
So we need to let it cool so this will harden up a little bit. And then I'm going to move it back over there and then I'll give Eric a taste. Eric took a little nap and said he woke up and he dreamed about there was a big piece out of the cake.
Yeah, and how do I say I didn't do it when I got crumbs on my face?
So I put it back in here, and here's the cake.
Yeah!
It looks amazing. It looks amazing. Paula Morrow, you did good. But we'll see how it tastes, right? So let's go ahead and cut us a piece. I'm just going to cut here. Whoa. Do you want a big piece or a little piece?
I just want a straight piece. I don't need this cutting on a bias or any other fancy things. Just keep it simple.
Cutting on a bias?
Yeah, you know. No biased chocolate cakes here.
I'm not cutting vegetables here.
She asked me if I want a fork.
Cake? Whoa, I didn't cut it all the way through.
Well, there you go.
Oh, well. It's not a pretty slice.
My stomach doesn't care.
Yeah, Eric's stomach doesn't care. It looks pretty moist,
Nice.
even though I botched the cutting job. That's how it looks. Botched job and all. I think you'll be okay, though.
I'll get over it. Are you going to invite me formally?
Come on over, Boo.
I wouldn't want to be unwelcome.
Okay, Boo, you ready to take a taste?
I don't know, am I? I'll give you a little disclosure because we all about disclosures, right?
You've been eating the
The
chocolate.
ganache is awesome, okay? So I give that already.
If anything else, it's a great ganache recipe.
Exactly. So as long as the cake doesn't bring the ganache down, then we got a winner.
Well, its base is a cake mix, so it should be fairly
But you got
moist.
pudding and stuff in there, so yum, yum, right? So, all right, down the hatch. Mmm.
Chocolatey.
Chocolate, got little nuts in there, moist, good mouthfeel.
What happened to the chocolate chips?
Something's in there. Maybe they melted.
They may have melted. You might need to use big chips, not minis.
Yeah, I don't think these minis held up very well.
Yeah, maybe use. I'll ride it up with regular chocolate chips and not minis.
Mm-hmm. But I would say this is definitely a winner because it tastes really good. So I give my thumbs up. So thank you for all your hard
You're
work.
welcome. Don't eat all this cake at once.
Wait a minute. You putting conditions on cake eating?
Yeah, I think I'm going to take this over to the neighbor. Thanks for joining us. Happy Recipe Vault.